thinking a little bit about the US economy, foreign direct investment, and what it's like currently for non-US headquartered companies to be doing business in the US. Maybe you can share some perspectives that you're seeing being on the front line, working both with clients here as well as spending a lot of time overseas engaging with them.
So Mike, I think dominating the headlines, of course, is the trade war, trade dispute with China, and that I think clients want to hear about first. How does that impact their ability to invest in the U.S.? And it doesn't directly, but it might have an impact on sort of their supply chain, and what they've done historically may or may not be able to kind of continue in the same way. I think they're encouraged by the continued sort of stimulating economic environment in the U.S. I think last year there was more foreign direct investment into the U.S. And of course, tons of M&A activity, tons of IPO activity. So the dynamism, I think, of the U.S. economy continues to be very, very attractive.
Yeah, when I think about the trade element that you mentioned, Suchi, although we hear a lot about it here and we talk to clients that are concerned, it was amazing to me when we were over in China a few weeks ago and you were helping to co-lead client events. There was no doubt in my mind that you can see that there is real impact there. And there also seemed to be at that same time a focus on, well, is the U.S. still really open for business? We see the trade war going on, but is this a place where we should still be investing? The sense I got was that there is still interest and they want to find a way to work here and continue investing.
So Mike, I think that's a good question. On the upside, of course, I think the economic environment, like we say, is incredibly exciting and dynamic. I think U.S. tax reform, while they're still working through all the complexity and we don't have all the regulations yet, I think on balance is a net plus. I think some of the things that are a bit concerning, the trade war obviously is concerning. I also think the sort of tightened regulatory oversight from CFIUS, the Committee for Foreign Investment in the U.S., a 14-agency committee headed by the U.S. Treasury Department, being able to sort of block potential acquisitions in the U.S. and investments in the U.S., I think is concerning, especially since it's been reinforced by FIRMA in this pilot program that I know that you've spoken a fair bit about.
Yeah, there's no doubt when we look at CFIUS, and we heard it, right? They were concerned. Can we still do deals with the U.S.? And from talking with our deals group, we're interested or seeing that there is still continuing interest. Often it might be minority interest shares, but there still is that focus on key industries in the US. And yes, that FIRMA program actually enables companies to go through a pilot to better vet early on whether there's going to be permissibility around their potential acquisition. We actually were recently looking at a Japanese company that's selling a part of its business to China, and they're utilizing that FIRMA program to make sure that they won't hit any CFIUS bumps in the road.
Yeah, I think other than CFIUS, I do think there is a relaxation at the federal level of being more business friendly. I think many of the agencies, have relaxed the sort of the regulatory environment considerably. Some of that's been picked up at the state level. If you look at California, they're leading on privacy, on net neutrality, and some other things, which actually might make it more complex because instead of sort of one set of regulations, we could be talking about 50 sets of regulations potentially that foreign companies would have to deal with doing business here.
Yeah, that's a great perspective. We were meeting with a number of Japanese clients and teams last week. And what you just highlight was exactly what they discussed, especially in the financial services industries. The regulation has been decreasing, or let's say enforcement's decreasing, yet they look at 50 different states and they say that's not letting up. That continues to be real challenging. So we know that at the executive level, the president's trying to make it easier to do business here, yet the states still have some challenges. And we'll see, that's going to continue. I hope though that our inbound clients, they'll continue to see this is a place of great opportunity.
Yeah, and I'd say on balance, I think global companies are still very interested in doing business in America, and I think we can play a key role in helping them sort through the various complexity in the changing environment.